Let's talk about dairy. The dairy section is almost always hard to get to and not accidentally. Stores normally put these foods in remote places against the back walls. This makes it easier for their employees to stock the refrigerated cases, but more important reason is to force you to walk past the shelves of other products on your way there to pick up a few impulse buys along the way. Dairy foods are complex fixtures. They have some components that promote calcium retention and others that promote its excretion. The amount of calcium needed to balance losses is hard to know. Bones are not just made of calcium, they're built on protein, scaffolds, and need practically all of the other required nutrients. When studies examine the effects of one nutrient at a time, they show that some nutrients like magnesium, potassium, vitamin D, and lactose promote calcium retention. Others like protein, phosphorus, and sodium promote calcium excretion. So calcium retention and the strength of your bones may depend much more on everything else you are eating and how active you are, rather than how much calcium you take in. Then we have lactose. Lactose is the sugar in milk, and in an 8-ounce glass of milk is going to contain about 1 tablespoon of lactose. Lactose is a double sugar made of glucose and galactose linked together. Double sugars are too big to be absorbed into the body from the intestinal tract. To use lactose, your body has to split the link between glucose and galactose and release the single sugars that are easily absorbed. The enzyme that does the splitting is called lactase. By age 5, most children actually stop making lactase since it's no longer needed to ingest and digest breast milk. Evolutionarily, there we go, there's no longer a need for it. This is why a lot of people become lactose intolerant as they age. Milk is just food. There's nothing special about it. Cow's milk is not necessarily necessary. It's not perfect for humans, but it's also not poison either. Yes, it's high in fat and saturated fat, but you can also just choose the non-fat versions. You can also take Lactaid if you still want to have the dairy without the consequences. Then we have another dairy product, which is yogurt. With yogurt, the predominant flavor is sweet. Ever notice that? Sweet cells, and nearly all yogurts are sweetened in the most artificially imaginative ways. Anything you could dream up, they have a flavor for it. Yogurts are sweetened with added sugar, but also with honey, molasses, lactose, fructose, fruit concentrate, corn syrup salads, fructose syrup, high fructose syrup, aspartame, and other artificial sweeteners. As part of the health theme, you can get yogurts sugared and flavored with every conceivable choice of fruit. Some fruit-flavored yogurts actually have fruit in them, but most of them have more sugar than fruit, and a lot of them don't even have any fruit in them at all. They're just fruit juice concentrates, added colors to make them look fruitier, and thickeners like flour, cornstarch, pectin, and carrageenan to hold them together. Yogurt has kind of performed this marketing miracle as fast-selling dairy dessert with the aura of a health food. So yogurt is inherently dessert, if you think about it. Its healthful mystique depends on its bacteria. For most foods, ensuring safety and palatability means getting rid of bad bacteria, but each of those little yogurt containers is supposed to have hundreds of millions of good bacteria, all alive, active, and ready to multiply as soon as the temperature warms up, which means in your body. The mere thought kind of makes you want to add sugar, right? The starting point for yogurt is milk that is first pasteurized to kill off unwanted bacteria. Into it go 2 or more kinds of friendly bacteria of the lacto and bifidus species. Yogurt makers refer to these bacteria as cultures because they are cultivated, fed, and grown on nutrients in the milk. Whatever type, all of these bacteria go to work fermenting the nutrients in the milk while producing lactic acid and other substances that curdle and flavor it. Most of the lactose gets used up, which is why yogurt is tolerable to many people who otherwise cannot eat dairy products. If you have any questions on dairy or yogurt or other dairy products, feel free to drop a comment below.